I was going to use today's video space to talk about the grand return of David Cameron to frontline politics and how David Cameron can basically fuck off because he's the one who called the referendum, put us in all this Brexit mess by losing the referendum, and then literally hummed as he fucked off to leave us all to pick up the pieces. So that was going to be what this video was all about, a nice shouty one. But I was listening to LBC this morning and they were discussing this dossier of information, this dossier of alleged anti-Semitic hate crimes, committed by people within the Labour Party that they had handed to the police and that the police were now investigating. Now, as Peter Hitchens said a few weeks back, now Peter Hitchens is one of the few conservative thinkers that I actually like and respect. He said, if you're in a nation where the opposition is being criticised instead of the government, that is a nation where liberty is at stake. Liberty is at risk. I'm paraphrasing. Now, I think that's very, very true. LBC spent the entirety of this morning discussing anti-Semitism in Labour, anti-Semitism in Labour, anti-Semitism in Labour. Never once mentioned the fact that the Tory party reinstated a racist councillor who was previously suspended for putting on social media a post about foreign people smelling funny or something, just because they wanted to win that seat. So they put her back in the running and let her win it. Never once discussed that. Never once discussed Boris Johnson's famous letterbox ninja remarks about women in hijabs. Never once discussed the fact that Boris Johnson said black people have watermelon smiles, called them pickaninnies. Never once discussed anything like that. It was all Labour, 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 Labour. Now, the Chakrabarti inquiry set up by Corbyn in the wake of the Ken Livingstone scandal. For those of you who don't know, Ken Livingstone made some remarks regarding Israel and their treatment of the Palestinian people. He compared it to the treatment of the Jews under Hitler. I don't think that was anti-Semitic in the slightest, but obviously many people did. It caused a big scandal. Ken Livingstone was subsequently suspended pending investigation. And this inquiry was set up, the Chakrabarti inquiry, which found that there was no endemic level of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party. And that should have been the end of it. But of course the Tories and anyone opposed to Corbyn's branch of Labour, Corbyn's take on Labour, grasped onto this anti-Semitism thing, and they're now trying to squeeze the party for everything they can, trying to tar them in any way they can with a negative brush. So there was no endemic level of anti-Semitism within the Labour Party. That is what the inquiry found. Now, in any major political party, you're going to get racists and anti-Semites and bigots and homophobes and all the rest of it, because there's so many different ways of having a perspective. You've got left-wing Labour members, right-wing Labour members, left-wing Tories, right-wing Tories. You've got probably people in Green that are racist. So don't give me that Labour's got a problem with anti-Semitism. Every party has got a problem with anti-Semitism to some degree. This inquiry found that Labour has got no more of a problem than any other party. Now, there have been instances where members of Labour have been explicitly anti-Semitic, and it's disgusting and abhorrent, and they have been rightfully sacked / suspended / investigated. But all this smearing is literally just Tory media run by their friends Murdoch and Rothermere trying to smear a man who is going to tax the rich. That's all there is to it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.